with enough champagne to fill the 100-acre woods.
Welcome to Cash Exchange Presents.
Welcome.
What's up?
Not much. I just actually got off the heels of watching this movie because I did not get a chance to in the last few days. So I'm hoping it's still very fresh in my mind and it contributes to this conversation.
Me
Have a lot of
too.
thoughts.
It is. It's fresh in the noggin on this side. I even have a shirt to commemorate this film. And
I did not come as prepared. I have Freddy Krueger on mine. Still spooky season related.
All right. Well, let's get into the movie for this week, which is a movie that we have seen already. A movie we actually saw together, the four of us.
I did.
Your person, my person, our backyard on a outdoor movie screen, and it is Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
That is the best way to watch a movie, but probably a dick move to your neighbors if you're watching something in the same vein as Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Probably. But you know what? I don't have much of a relationship with these neighbors, so don't really.
So it's fine.
Doesn't bother me none. Zero bothers given, as my shirt says, because I am very prepared for today's episode.
All right. Happy to hear that. I was writing notes before I actually started watching the movie, and I realized that I was blending the two because I actually really enjoyed Blood and Honey too.
I haven't seen the second one yet.
Yeah.
Same director, whole new cast though, right?
No. I mean,
no?
So there's a death that happens in the first Blood and Honey, the one that we're talking about today, which does affect the villains, but they just add in one more person. And I mean, all of the people that died in the first movie obviously don't make a comeback, but so I guess it is a cast shakeup, but in the way that like most horror movies sequels are. You got your final girl and then some extras. There's also a good amount of overlap, which makes me think that the horror movie actor pool from the UK is fairly small because Sammy from Tooth Fairy, A Drill to Kill, is Christopher Robin's wife. And Inez, the teacher who is in the shortest bodycon dress I think I've ever seen, makes an appearance towards the end and almost gets several people killed.
Just like her horniness got what's-his-face killed. A lot of similarities between this and Tooth Fairy. So I am working on a theory that maybe in this genre of film, it's a pretty common trope. I think that the whole talking to a therapist, and the therapist talking about the incident, and then that being a way for you to give exposition about whatever without actually having to film it and having to show it. I think that is probably a go-to move for these movies because it's cheap, it's quick, it doesn't take all that much thought. So, I don't know. I guess we will find out when we get to movie 3 if the pattern holds up. But this movie stars 3 people you've never heard of and 3 people you probably won't see in a blockbuster of any type. Sure, you have your Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 with Renee Zellweger and Matthew McConaughey. You got your whatever trauma films we mentioned in the B horror movie episode, but you got Nikolai Leon, Maria Taylor, and Craig David Dowsett. And you would be completely forgiven if as soon as I said those names, you had already forgotten them. No shade to them.
Nikolai, Leon, Maria, something, and you lost me completely by the third guy.
There we go. See, no shade to them. They did fine with what they had, what they're working with.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that this is probably one of those that is just maybe it's like a side gig type of thing. I can't imagine these movies taking that long to film, so I don't think that there's that much of
No.
a time commitment involved. You could definitely be like a CPA on the side. And what a
What
cool
a
draw
cool side hustle.
for your accounting firm. Hey, CPA also girl killed
I got
third.
wood chippered
And
in Blood and Honey.
I got some stuff to say about that wood chipper scene. All right, we got our director, Rhys, Rhys. How do you
Reese.
pronounce that? Reese.
Reese.
Okay, Reese Frake Waterfield, which I'm assuming is not American. I don't
I
know
wouldn't
where
imagine.
Reese comes from. This was all shot in the UK, except for one random American dude.
He threw a y'all in there, and I almost had to turn off the movie. They put one American in this movie, and he is the most redneck human being to walk this earth.
They countered him with, they complimented him with like the most redneck British person they could find. Like the most Cockney dude that they could find was his compatriot, his partner. And then the other two
In
were not much
backwoods
better.
Britain.
It was just like they picked like the hillbilly / redneck from each country, and then just threw them all into a truck, in a muddy truck, and had them attempt to save the day. Spoiler alert: it did not
Yeah.
happen. It didn't work out. Their bravado got the best of them. Did you look up Rotten Tomatoes for this one?
Yeah. I knew it was pretty low, but I didn't realize that it was quite as low as it ended up being.
I think the critic score is a little harsh. I think that they had a bad taste in their mouth because it was definitely a cash grab for as soon as the IP was available, this was out to the masses.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the audience score is a little more reflective of what this movie is for what this movie is.
Mm-hmm.
The critic score is a 3%, and audience is a 49%.
Yeah. I wrote in my notes at one point that I thought that this movie gave off the impression of a Kickstarter project that kind of started as a joke, and then too many people funded it, and they were like,
They
oh
realized
shit,
they
now
had
I
to go
gotta
through
make
with it.
this. Or this was just one big screw you to Disney, so they made it for the sake of saying screw you to Disney.
I would go with probably the
Like
latter.
Screamboat. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I would go with the latter. Yeah, that it was like, we can do this now. You can't do a damn thing about it.
Mm-hmm.
And they were smart because the character itself predates Disney. Disney bought the rights to it, and so their iteration of the character, is still under copyright.
Yeah.
Their catchphrases are still under copyright. So, in this movie, Winnie the Pooh has pants, and Winnie the Pooh
I would be horrified if he did not.
does not speak, except at the very end, and it's very stupid.
Yeah.
So, yes, it was definitely a screw you to Disney. And it worked because Disney, this is still available. It's on Peacock right now for you to stream, for your streaming enjoyment. It's on Peacock. This one and the second one. I don't know if we'll get around to the second one. There's a line ahead of them, but yeah, available. Everything. You can fact check us on all of it. Everything's there. Budget for this movie, which we kind of waffled back and forth when we were deciding what the stipulations were going to be for what made our list and what didn't.
Mm-hmm.
This one is at $100,000. So for a B movie, that's on the upper end of the spectrum. But the reason this one was a definite one that we were going to have talked about was because it was one of our three things for one of our episodes. So this one, no matter what the budget was, because we knew it was low, and there are a couple places where I think that they blew the entire budget in this movie.
Oh, for sure.
And then after that, they're just like, all right, we got to make do with what we have left. But released on February 15th of 2023 in the U.S., and its worldwide gross, $7.7 million.
If you were one of these actors and it was just your side hustle, if you were able to pull like a percentage of the gross instead of doing like the actual thing, I feel like you'd make a good amount of money because of how many
I,
of these things they churn out.
I bet you would too. I'd be interested to talk to one of them if Nikolai Leon is available, or
No,
maybe
I want
Maria Taylor.
I want the one who played Sammy.
Oh, she's not in this one.
Huh?
So she's not in this one.
What do you mean?
She's not in the first
We just
one.
talked about it.
She's not in the
She's
first Blood and
Christopher
Honey.
Robin's
She's in the
wife.
second one.
No, she's not. She's Christopher Robin's wife. She's in the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Oh, that was her?
Yeah.
Oh, there's no way she got a percentage. She
There-
was in it for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, but she's in every one of the movies that these people put out. So I think that she's probably got it in with
I didn't know that was her.
company. We just talked about it.
I
What do
thought you said
mean?
she was in the second one.
No, she's Christopher Robin's wife. She's the spoiler alert. She gets strangled by Piglet in the first 15 minutes of the movie.
Well, he just stands there. No, Piglet, stop! And he's just not doing a damn thing.
I have more thoughts on that later, but do you want to give us a synopsis of the movie
Okay.
for the uninitiated?
Yes. So we all know the story of Winnie the Pooh. They are friends of Christopher Robin, who, by all accounts, seems to be a loner, maybe a bit of a loser. We don't know. It's not really expounded upon in this film. But I think from everything we know and from him creating these characters or finding these characters and spending every waking moment with them in the 100-Acre Woods, that he is probably, not all there socially, So they go about their lives, and then there comes a time where Robin realizes that he can no longer be there in the 100-Acre Woods because he's got to go to college. He's got to go be a doctor. And so he leaves Winnie the Pooh, which we're going to say Pooh in this movie or in this episode so many times. And this grown-ass man spends, I don't know, 75% of the movie just yelling, Pooh! Pooh! All over the place. Just poo here, poo there, poo everywhere.
That sounds unsanitary.
And he leaves them to fend for themselves. Apparently, in this version of events with Winnie the Pooh, they became so dependent on him for sustenance that when he left, they felt so betrayed and so distraught that they just could not go on and turned from what I would assume are lovable, happy-go-lucky creatures that live in the woods to wild, feral creatures, animals, things, hybrids.
Yeah.
Because they have human fingers. They have human feet. They wear human clothes. They don't have human heads. So whatever they are, these freaks go back to their feral state. And they are just completely dead set on revenge against what seems like all humans, but especially Christopher Robin. And so the entire movie is just about murdering out of abandonment issues.
For funsies.
Yeah. Yeah, no real. There's one scene where one of our woodland friends partially eats a person, but other than that, it's just a free for all. Just do whatever you want.
The woodland friend who partially eats the person, that person was Inez. However you say it.
Huh. Well, I'll be.
Fun fact.
Hmm.
I enjoyed the animated part at the beginning.
I did too.
I'm still pretty pissed that the thing that drove them to madness was that they had to eat Eeyore. Of all of them, you couldn't have gone like Kanga. You had to kill Eeyore.
My question. What were they doing before Christopher Robin came into the picture?
It's kind of tough to talk about this movie because so much of the second one is their backstory,
Oh man.
and I don't want to like spoil things that happen in the next movie. But I think I think they were brought about in kind of the same time. They're roughly the same age. And so Christopher Robin was able to feed them from kind of when they found themselves in the woods. So they
Okay.
didn't have to survive by themselves ever until Christopher Robin abandoned them.
But there's gonna be some times from birth to early childhood where they're on their own.
Sure.
What happens then? Christopher Robin isn't toddling into the forest with a picnic basket for Pooh and all of his friends. So what's going
Yeah.
on there?
I have an answer that I don't think I can give you. I don't want to spoil the
God,
second one.
fine. I'll watch the second one soon.
It's up to
Okay.
you. If you want answers, I will give them to you. But
Mm, no, no, because
okay.
I think that we owe it to the people to do a review on the
Yeah.
second one. So
I
so we'll just save it
thought
till
you just said
then.
there was a long list. There was a line for Cash Exchange Presents.
I didn't say when we'd get to it, and I said we will get to it
Okay. Okay.
at some point.
All right. Well,
Okay,
from the
so
context of
I
this
will.
movie, it makes no sense that they weren't fed for a great deal of their lives.
Okay, I will. I'll put a pin in that one. That gripe.
Okay.
That one. I'll put that one off to the side. The animation was cool, and I think that that's where they blew a lot of their budget.
Think so?
I I mean, I don't know what animation costs, but I
I,
can't imagine it's cheap for a movie. Because there's two scenes where they switch to animation,
yeah.
and it's not like crazy like big stuff that seems like it's real takes a real steady hand and all that. I mean, it's like
Mm,
it's pencil sketches,
yeah.
and most of the characters do not look like the characters. They had to
Mm-hmm.
describe they had to name the characters and then show you which one was represented by these little pencil drawings in order for you to know which one's which. And we get Owl, Rabbit, Eeyore, Piglet, and Winnie the Pooh, or the
Mm,
group of creatures that he meets in the 100 Acre Woods and befriends and then later abandons so that he can go be a doctor or something. We never find out if he went and got his doctorate, but that
yeah.
is what was stated. He leaves and they are so starved that they decide to sacrifice. Winnie decides to sacrifice one of the creatures, animals, whatever you want to
Mm,
call them. It's never stated how it was decided, why they would pick on the clinically depressed guy. Maybe because they thought like he's the one that would like miss life the least. So maybe that's how they
chock
rectified
block,
it in their head.
no. Yeah.
But there's a scene where they're just like all cornering him, and it does not look like it was his choice.
I mean, I don't think there's ever a unanimous decision when it comes to sacrificing a member of the group. There's gonna be one person, at least, that has some issues.
I don't know. There was a story about a guy who met another guy. I think he was Dutch, maybe. I don't know. It's a pretty easy story to find. Uh, on a cannibalism message board, and one guy met with the first guy, did a full recording saying, "Yes, I agree to be eaten by this fella," and he was, in fact, eaten by this fella, and the guy still went to prison.
Fully?
Huh?
I mean, I don't necessarily think that consent is the biggest thing in that situation. Not that it's not incredibly important, but like you still ate a person. We
You
have
still did
no
eat a
real
person.
concept of what that does to the psyche, and I don't think I want that person on the streets.
That person should not be free. They should not. My point is that people can willingly. There is a precedent for people willingly being cannibalized.
And yet Army Hammer couldn't achieve his goals, not even being a nepo baby.
Uh, I don't know. I guess not. Anyways, they pick on the depressed dude, and they're like, "Yeah, you'll miss all this the least, so you'll be fine."
Sorry, bud. Into the pit.
And yeah, and they did create a nice burial for him,
Yeah.
little placard with his name on it, and then nailed his tail to the to the marker. So they weren't completely mad by this point.
They also theoretically made a shrine with his bones. That's
Yeah,
in the second little animated blurb.
yeah. hmm Which that one
They
was
sh-
confusing.
yeah.
We'll get to that when we get to it. So the movie starts out with two people. You don't know who they are at first. Walking into a wooded area. Uh, the man says, "Oh, I know where we are. We're almost there." Woman says, "You said that 2 hours ago." Man says, "Oh, but I recognize this. I know where we are now. It's just right up ahead." And she says, "I'll give you another hour, but then after that, we have to turn around." What? So this man has already been telling you that we're almost there for 2 hours, and then you're going to give him another hour. So instead of turning back at this point, when you're still alive, you're still good, and having a 2 hour trek back to your car to wherever,
Mhm.
you want it to spend another hour moving forward in this nebulous direction, and then have a 3 hour journey back? It makes no sense.
Sure. But he's also talking to her about now that they're married, he wants to show her all of his friends. And he was like, "Oh, but like,
I
are
don't
you
think they
saying you
were
don't
married
believe me?" And
yet.
she's like, "No." He refers, I don't, so I'm pretty sure it mentions in the first like scene that they're in that she's his fiance, but later he
Yes.
calls her his wife. So I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know. Maybe they got married somewhere
Yeah, because
in a scene we didn't see.
I think he said future
Yeah.
Mary and Christopher Robin,
hmm
something like that.
But
But
yeah,
yeah,
he says something later about his wife after certain things happen.
and they keep going in deeper and deeper into these woods. The whole time, this woman is just like saying, "Hey, bud, you're kind of like crazy." He's like, "No, no, Pooh is real. I love Pooh. Pooh is my best friend." God, this man, okay, if I could go back and give these guys one pointer, just one little,
hmm
just note to maybe take into consideration, call him Winnie. Don't call him Pooh.
I don't.
Maybe that's like a copyright thing, trademark thing. I don't know.
hmm
But this grown man, like I said, spends this entire movie just yelling out Pooh to anyone that'll listen.
Honestly, that didn't distract me at all. I think this
It
might be a
it
you
distracted
thing.
me a lot.
Although I will say that calling a 6.5 foot tall behemoth piglet is also a little
Lumberjack.
silly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both of them, just stacked fellas, and very agile for their body shapes.
Yeah.
They got big old guts, but boy, can they run. Anything,
Where
one
did the guts
thing
go?
leads to another. Mary and Chris are talking, and she's like, "Hey, you're crazy. I don't think this stuff exists." And he says, "Hey, no, they do exist. You don't believe me?" And she's like, "No, like I totally believe you that you believe that this is true, that
Mhm.
these things exist." And they stumble upon a shack, uh, a
That's a whole
barn.
house.
It
A
doesn't make any sense. There
giant
are
cabin.
there are broken down cars. There are relatively newish looking like like RVs
They're
or
Airstreams,
campers, I
yeah.
guess. Campers, yeah. Um, a full ass bus, and then a giant vase vase holder of a liquid,
Mhm.
which you can gather has honey in it, and a bloody handprint. And Chris is just like, "Well, let's go. Let's go. I know this. This is
I
from when I
remember
was a
this
kid."
house.
And so they go. They go into this house. For whatever reason, the front door is on the upper floor, so they have to go upstairs that are outside, which is that another thing? Is this another UK thing? all their houses, their front doors are upstairs. So that's another
Hey.
similarity with Tooth Fairy. And they
Mm-hmm.
go in and they find this crumpled up just scrap of paper. And Mary says, Chris, it's you. And there's no picture on this paper, but
Yeah,
he's
why
like,
don't we get to see that?
who would do this? And then you start hearing some heavy footsteps and like, uh-oh, and dive under some furniture and stay there for, I don't know, quite some time. The footprints or the footsteps just lumber around the house. And then it cuts to later. It's nighttime outside. And there is a giant person figure in plaid snoring on a cot. And so they're like, all right, this is our moment. This is where we get out of here. And they run downstairs and just take their sweet, sweet, sweet time escaping. And yeah, the first jump scare, which is the only one that really got me, it got Emily too, was Piglet pops up right behind Mary and strangles her with a chain, which is his preferred MO for
One of two.
the murders. Yeah, that and a sledgehammer. But fiance, wife, whatever, is
Mm-hmm.
being strangled by this nearly 7 foot tall, four tusked boar hog thing.
Big
And
man.
Chris is just, no, Piglet, stop, no, no, stop, no, no, stop, no, for like 30 seconds.
Before they go into this redneck compound thing, Mary says that she's scared, that she doesn't want to do this. She thinks they should turn around. And Christopher Robin goes, "Don't worry, I'll protect you." The moment there is a shred of danger, he collapses.
Not even a shred of
What is
danger, just
that?
the most danger of all time, and doesn't makes no attempt to do anything other than scream.
Well, they see Piglet and Pooh before Piglet tries to kill Mary. And he's just like, "Oh, hey guys, what's up?" And then, yeah, just collapses on the ground. It's like, no, he's got that. He went to the Gal Gadot acting school.
Do it. Do it.
Kal-El, no.
Oh, is this where we get
With
our
enough
second animation?
champagne to fill the 100-acre woods. What?
Oh man, is this where we get the second animation?
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
Pooh comes up behind him and knocks him out, drags him away. And then we get the animation to where a man is trying to claw his way to freedom while being dragged into a cave. We see what looks like an effigy to Eeyore, could be his bones. And then you see a body wrapped up in something and set on fire.
Mm-hmm.
And then, boom, title card, Winnie the Pooh,
Real quick.
Blood and Honey.
I think that the body that they burned was Mary. I think they burned and ate her, or like cooked and ate her.
Okay. Yeah. You
That was
don't
what I
know.
got out of that scene. Yeah.
It's implied because the animation is definitely a man that is being dragged into the cave.
Mm-hmm.
It is implied that the one that they cooked and ate because they had such a vendetta for was Christopher Robin. But if that were the
Sure.
case, then the movie would be over because this whole thing
Yeah.
is their revenge on Christopher Robin and all humans until they can get their revenge on Christopher Robin. But they definitely do
Yeah.
a fake out. They definitely try to convince you that these Mary and Chris are just no more. And it's exactly like Tooth Fairy did the same exact thing. People in the very beginning of the movie dead. And then we get the title
Sammy
card.
doesn't come back in this one.
And then movie starts. But title card, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Worst CGI honey dripping and blood dripping that you've ever seen.
Yeah.
All the blood in this movie is the worst you've ever seen.
Before we get to the title card, because I have a couple things to mention on that, there's also a moment where they're in these like woods tunnels where Christopher Robin is pleading with Pooh and Piglet, And he says, I didn't know any of this would happen. But like, what did he think? Like, he went into the woods thinking that he was about to like reunite with all of his best friends. What did he think was going on? Like, there's no information that he's gained between walking into the woods and then killing his fiance wife.
No.
Did he suddenly gain all of the exposition?
In fact, he would have gained quite a bit of insight to the contrary when he saw that his supposed picture, was defaced in the cabin. So he actually had information to the contrary that everything was in fact not going to be okay.
But I
And
didn't
no
know this would
spoilers,
happen.
but the in the second one is are the piglet and Winnie the same size they are now when he leaves? So he was fully expecting them to be these hulking beings?
No.
No? Okay. All right. That's all I needed.
Did you pause the title sequence? Did you read any of the articles that they wrote about Winnie and
Yes.
Co?
Yes. You hear
So, in the title sequence, the whole thing is just them flipping through news articles that have been written about Winnie and friends. They talk about all of these mysterious deaths, all of these murders, and things that have happened in the Hundred Acre Woods. And then they specifically mention pig and bear hybrids. There is also an article with a picture, and underneath that picture, it is captioned Bear Man Pig sighting. Come on, Bear Man Pig. I
Oh,
would
no, I
rather
didn't catch
watch the
that.
movie about Man Bear Pig from South Park. Yeah, it's also not for nothing. Those are two separate entities. There is not a Bear Man Pig. There is a Bear Man and a Pig Man. There's no Bear Man Pig.
Hmm. No, I didn't catch that. What I did catch was a slogan that was repeated multiple times, and
Mhm.
it was like in the print of like these fake headlines that they were showing, and people were shouting it and had protest signs that said 100 Acre Woods won't save you. I have no clue what that means. It is never explained. It's nonsense. What could it
Yeah.
possibly mean that the 100 Acre Woods won't save you? I don't think anyone is going into these woods thinking that they're going to be saved from anything. I think people are definitely afraid to go in, and people should be saying that you can't be saved from the 100 Acre Woods. But these signs definitely say 100 Acre Woods won't save you.
That is also something that could arguably be answered by the second movie, but
Jeez
I would
Louise.
think I would think that it's more of a like say you're a murderer that has a hideout somewhere. They know that the murderer is in the 100 Acre Woods. These woods are
Oh,
not going to protect you. We're going to catch you, kind of thing.
okay.
Because
That makes a lot more
there's
sense.
so many articles that go through all of these deaths and disappearances and stuff that like they know something's up in those woods. I would imagine there's some kind of manhunt.
Okay, that makes sense. And the term mutilated bodies found is
Yep.
said no less than 20 times from beginning and to end
Yeah.
of opening credits.
Hmm.
Just over and over and over again. Like there's definitely, if this is such a prevalent problem, there's more quotes that you could pull from the news more than mutilated bodies found. And it's different people. They have different people say it. Makes no sense. It's silly.
If you're trying to feed, what is it, like 5 human animal hybrids?
I mean, it should be 4, shouldn't it? Because what, you had owl, rabbit, piglet, Winnie, and Eeyore. Eeyore's dead, so 4.
Was Tigger not around?
No,
I
Tigger
thought
wasn't
Tigger was a
mentioned
part of
in
it.
the no, not in the
Oh,
opening
okay.
animation.
Well, then you're feeding 4 of these like person animal hybrids. Like, even if there are a good amount of deaths, wouldn't they not be? It's like, wouldn't they eat them clean? Isn't that kind of the animal MO?
You would think so.
I would feel like you wouldn't be finding a ton from these people, even in a Texas Chainsaw Massacre style barn that they own for some reason.
Apparently, the 100 Acre Woods belongs to just Winnie and his buds because they got properties all over the place. They
They
got
do.
buildings all over the place. and like buildings with like stuff in them. They're just not like thrown up with twigs and leaves. These are actually constructed buildings with heavy machinery inside of them. Is that answered in the second one?
Not at all.
Okay.
I mean,
God bless.
theoretically, I mean, you could make the jump to some extent. All right, so we've made it to the title sequence, which says mutilated bodies a just absurd amount of times.
Yes, it
It's
does.
not, I would argue, the most egregious thing that is repeated time and time again throughout this movie, but it doesn't come in for another like 20-ish minutes, I believe. So now we've made it to therapy.
Therapy. And again, this is exactly like Tooth Fairy, where it goes from title card to therapy session.
No one in the production of these movies has been to a therapist, or at least a qualified one. The solution to there being tooth fairy nightmares is not to just say, close your eyes, think about it, and when I tell you to open them, no more tooth fairy nightmares. Not how that works. Not only is that not how it works, you saying, I know you got stalked and you're terrified to be alone right now, go to a cabin in the woods. Get out of the
Yeah.
city for a while. Go
Isolate
spend
yourself.
some time away from anyone who might be able to help you.
I do think
Who's giving these
that
people licenses?
this therapist is definitely more qualified than the Tooth Fairy therapist. I'll give her that much. Not much more,
Mm-hmm.
but is
Sure.
by way of not just telling her, hey, maybe just like don't think about it
Don't.
and you're healed, I guess. Like that'll be $200, please.
It's the UK. Is mental health care covered?
I have no
Is that
clue.
universal?
Who knows? Yeah, I said
The set.
second movie in a row that has a therapy session. This therapist seems a lot more helpful than that Tooth Fairy quack.
Also in both of them, the set design for these therapist offices are just so unbelievably weird.
Mm-hmm.
The background of like this therapist office is all news clippings. And the only one you actually like get to read is the one that's behind the therapist. And it's an article about World War II and it says Archer Street bombs Berlin. I'm not saying your office needs to be all sunshine and motivational posters, but I think that's the wrong vibe to set for people trying to get better.
Unless it's a situation where it's like, oh, you think your life sucks? You could have been in Berlin, World War II.
Yeah.
You could have been bombed. Have you been bombed? It could always be worse, lady.
There's a whole wall of articles behind Maria that you don't get to see, and I can only imagine they're in the same vein of just bleak and depressing.
Without a doubt. And at this point, you don't know what the incident is. You know that something happened and that she sees him everywhere. And so at this point, a weekend away is not as egregious of a suggestion as it later comes to be found out to be.
Sure.
So just a little bit of grace there.
I will put a pin in that one.
And then from there, therapy session ends. There's no wacky close your eyes and boom, gone. Our therapy session's over. And then she is driving. She's on the phone with a friend, and this woman was able to throw together this getaway with 5 friends, so 6 including herself, very quickly. It seems like it's like the next day and, oh, my therapist said I needed this. Okay, let's go. And she's on the phone with a friend who says that, hey, I'm leaving right now. I'll be there in 2 hours. And this is the second time that 2 hours has come up. And it made me think of Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Where Everett, George Clooney, needs a part for the car that they stole. I think they need a belt or something. And he said, well, I can get you a new one. It'll be about 2 weeks, though. He's like, dang, can't do that. All right, I'll just take my hair jelly. And then he gets him Fop. He's like, I want Dapper Dan. He's like, I don't carry that brand. I got Fop. And he's like, I don't want no Fop. God damn it. I'm a Dapper Dan man. He's like, son, you need to watch your language. If you want Dapper Dan, I can get it to you. It'll take about 2 weeks, though. And then Everett says, and there's a geographical oddity. 2 weeks from everywhere. And that's what I thought about. Whenever Mary in the beginning said that it took them 2 hours to get to the 100-acre woods. And now this friend who is running late also is going to take 2 hours to get to the 100-acre woods. And she stops at a place called Redford Garage. It's not a place you would stop. Like you can be driving down the road and you pass by a building and you can tell if it's functioning or not, or if it has been vacated for, I don't know, roughly 2 decades. Redford Garage has been empty for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't stop her from pulling up to the pump. Doesn't matter that there's broken down cars on the other side of the pump and all around where she's at. Doesn't matter that the windows are broken out and there's just missing person posters all over. She's just knocking around. Hello? Hello? Is anyone here? Is anyone here? These movies, if they didn't have the most asinine decision making, they could be something.
Yeah.
You could start there and have people make decisions that make sense, and then you could have a decently fleshed out story, even when the main antagonists are mutated bears and pigs.
If they made logical decisions here, are you telling me that in 2023, the age of at least Instagram, so we know this is more or less present day, you did not Google the place that you were trying to stay, did not think to maybe check out the area, especially given this is your first time leaving the city after something, whatever, tragic thing or scary thing happened to you? You didn't think to check in on the area, find maybe the 1-star reviews that are on Airbnb because people were getting murdered? If you were making logical decisions, ain't nobody ending up in the 100-acre woods.
That is correct.
Just saying.
The pictures for the cabin that they end up staying in must have been breathtaking. For them to overlook everything else and for them to say, for past guests to leave a rating and say, 1 star, great place, loved it. Mutated bears and pigs just roaming about, look like they're probably going to murder me, won't return. And then you're like, oh,
Did
but
Pooh
this
and Co.
indoor
open?
pool, that jacuzzi.
I do love a jacuzzi.
You know, Louise Marsh's parents just put in a jacuzzi.
Do you think that Winnie the Pooh and Co. own this Airbnb? Are they managing? They own everything else in the woods.
They have to. There's no other way.
Is there Wi-Fi in 100-acre woods? And there's got to be, I guess, because that one lady was on Instagram.
The Insta thought, yeah.
Yes.
The woman that could have saved the boob rating in this movie dropped the ball. I'll say that now.
There was
like you're like this
there
one.
was boobs. What do you?
This one that will not can't be parted from her phone because she won't have Instagram. Who sits in the jacuzzi by herself and just takes thirst trap pictures. No boobs, but we are approaching some boobs. Redford Garage, Maria, which I'm assuming is Maria Taylor. I'm guessing that they probably didn't get too creative with the character naming there. Goes into this dilapidated garage and starts calling for people. I don't think anyone's here. Well, no shit, lady. Yeah, no one's here. But then a guy pops in from the back door and, hey, can I help you?
This is the first instance of the American redneck that is in the UK with his also very redneck British brethren. This scene also just so happens to be the first sighting of Inez.
Yeah. He tells her that, well, no shit, this stuff doesn't work. Have you seen it? It's old as hell. And if you need gas, you go up 2 miles up the road. You can get gas there. And then as she's walking out, she's like, thanks. And then as she's walking out, she gets bumped into by these random people that look like that they're just coming to hang out with, what's his name? The American redneck feller. We'll just call him that.
He's given a name. I want to say it's like Tony.
Something like that. Yeah. So, I mean, these people are obviously cognizant of what has gone on in these woods that they're in, but don't seem to care. And then that's also where we find, I guess, Inez, because she's the lady that bumps into Maria.
She is, yeah.
And so they go on their merry way. I guess they thought, forget the gas and go straight to the cabin. And they walk in, and as soon as they get in, okay, no phones, which, okay, seems like a real bad idea. I mean, they don't put them in like a lockbox or anything. They're just sitting on like the little like entryway table.
Yeah.
But also, maybe don't put them right by the front door when you're worried about people breaking into a house to do nefarious things, which at this point we don't know that yet.
Sure.
But that's the whole reason for this getaway is because of a stalker. So it doesn't make much sense to put everyone's phone in one place and also have them right by the front door. But that's what they decide to do. Booberella says, no, I need it. Instagram. I need Instagram. And they're like, tough shit. Nope, give it. So she reluctantly gives it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we meet the
Tina.
We meet Tina. Great value, Lindsay Lohan.
Sure.
She is at the edge of the woods looking at a hand-painted, very ominous-looking sign that says 100 Acre Woods. Mm-hmm. She says, hey, am I in the right place? Hello, am I in the right place? Because not only did they take the phones away from everyone and put them on the counter, on the table by the front door, they also turned them off, knowing full well that there was still a friend that was coming that might need some directions on how to get to this cabin.
Yeah.
And instead, they turn their phones off because her calls go straight to voicemail. And so she's on the phone trying to figure out where to go. And then who pops up behind her? Pooh. That's who. And has the most awkward.
It's the Tom Cruise run.
Yeah. But with a giant beer gut swinging. Mm-hmm. Undulating to and fro.
It's one of those pregnancy
bumps. Yeah. It is very obviously on a very slender man. And it swings wildly back and forth as he's chasing down the Dr. Thunder of Lindsay Lohan's.
Some mountain lightning.
In her vast amount of wisdom, she decides to crawl under a garage door and go into a shop. Mm-hmm. Lots of heavy machinery, lots of things that could do you harm. Just at face value, just at the very least, you would need a tetanus shot once you left.
Sure.
She hides behind something. Okay, I think it's safe now. And then there's Pooh. Pooh's all over the place. There's Pooh everywhere.
Oh my God.
And he grabs her by the arm and then grabs her by the shoulder, or turns out that it was like maybe her collar, because in no time at all, her shirt just explodes off of her body and there's just nips flying all over the place. And Winnie...
Because I knew this was going to come up, I have a timestamp in my notes that just says boobs.
Oh, what time is it for our listeners?
24 minutes in.
Okay, 24 minutes.
Because I knew you were going to talk about it. It was going to be your metric for this movie.
Hell yeah. And I'll spoiler alert, very low grade on the boob scale. Very low grade. And so she's flailing there. He's got her by the head. Again, nips pointed every which way, and just slams her head into the side of this metal piece of machinery. Mm-hmm. A lot. A
Yeah.
lot. Winnie is nothing if not very thorough
Her
with,
kappa gets detated from her head.
yes, with his hobbies. And then from there, the already running wood chipper that turns out she had been having her head slammed into, she is thrown into. Now, have you ever used a wood chipper?
I have not.
No, I have in one of my past lives. They are very finicky. They gum up quite a lot. If the wood is too wet, then the gears that pull it in to the actual cutter slip, and they just keep slipping, and your thing just the branch or log, whatever you're throwing in there, just ends up bouncing around
Yeah.
until you stop it, you reverse it to pull it out, and then you try to rearrange it and to try to get it to grip and go in there and be cut through. But if you try to put a human body into a wood chipper, it's going to come up, and it's going to come up real quick.
Are you telling me that Fargo has lied to me?
That one was different. That one was gravity fed. So that one would have more of a chance of sucking a body into it and chipping the body than one that has a tray that you feed into horizontally.
Okay.
But either way, everything is going to get gummed up
Mhm.
and you're not going to get chipping action. And this was another instance of very, very poor CGI blood.
Yeah.
It would have been easy to practically pull this off. You could have put a blower in there with just chunks of stuff and some red blood. Would have been much cheaper than trying to do CGI. But you didn't. You went the CGI route, and it shows.
She also flails around for a good bit when she's in the chipper, and not in a way where like she's gone. And this seems like a purposeful, like I can still fight my way out of this kind of flailing.
Yeah.
She hasn't decided that she's dead yet.
Yeah. It's sad. Sad. Women. Indecisive. Even when they're in a wood chipper. Oh, and then we cut to two of the ladies that came on this trip. Turns out they are with each other romantically, relationshiply. And you're like, lesbians, nice. But then turns out that it's not all peaches and cream. And one of them laid out Zoe and Alice.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you which one is which, but they are Zoe and Alice. One of them like sets out like these rose petals and stuff on the bed, and the other one was like, whoa, 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 let's tap the brakes here. Let's tap the brakes. Like, yeah, we're lesbians in the wood in a cabin, romantic cabin with a jacuzzi and an indoor pool. Let's tap the brakes, okay? Like, I don't know if we're ready for rose petals on the bed yet.
Also,
like,
did they have to be so heavy-handed? Could we not have just presumed they were lesbians? Did there have to be a rose petal display on their bed?
I don't know.
You couldn't have shown like a shred of affection between the two of them?
I think if you were to use one phrase to describe these movies, heavy-handed would be the word that you would use. There's no subtlety in any of these movies at any point. Yeah, and then we get from the lesbian turmoil, we get a shot of the room in which Laura, the Instagram hoe, is in her room. And she brought her own lights. And you can safely assume, I would think, that she is filming some content to maybe put on some sort of subscription-based website.
Patreon?
Yes. Yeah, a little extra for her podcast listeners. Extra content. Could be Patreon. I don't know what they're... Yeah. I know it's not as popular as the most popular one, but I don't know. And then we have a powwow in the living room. Everyone has forgotten about wannabe Lindsay Lohan.
Tina.
They're just like, yeah, she's whatever. Oh, well, no one goes to check their phone to see if maybe they have a missed call. Maybe they can get some ETA. No, she's just metaphorically dead, but also unknowingly, literally dead to them.
Is this what happens when you're regularly late to things? People just don't care if you You get murked in the woods and thrown into a chipper.
They have a powwow in the living room. The lady couple, the Maria, the protagonist, and two additional friends, right?
Glasses
Yeah,
and
glasses, Instagram hoe, lesbians, Maria.
yes.
Yes. And this is where we get insight as to what happened with Maria. So turns out she had a bit of a peeping Tom situation. She called the police. Police said, we can't do anything. Nothing we can do. Anyways, good luck. And then time goes by for a little bit. And then a couple months later, it happens again at 3 a.m. This time he actually comes inside. He's by her bedside while she's sleeping, takes the strap off of her shoulder, and then she wakes up and we're back to present day. And she says that she hasn't told her friends. Like, this was the first time they were telling her.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean...
Glasses knew.
Oh, she did? Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't pick up on that.
She mentions a little bit later that she didn't think it was her place to tell.
Oh. Okay. Well, I completely missed that part. But yeah, so all these people are getting a new perspective, I guess. So maybe the stuff that happens before this isn't as egregious or off-putting because they didn't know like the real reason why this trip was needed or why this trip was planned. But again, at that point, you think that you wouldn't want to be so isolated at a cabin in the woods when you've already had some odd encounters already. You think, well, someone would have stood up and said, "Do we think this is the best idea? Maybe we should just
Social
head back and
therapy.
like just go have a sleepover at someone's house, you know, in the middle of the city, somewhere well lit, perhaps."
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But this is a low budget horror movie, so that doesn't happen. After this point,
I was gonna ask if that was I don't remember if that was the end of that scene, and we moved over back to our boy Pooh yet.
Well, I mean, in a roundabout way, because after this, we get to Piglet riding a stationary bicycle.
Pooh.
I don't think so.
Pooh's on the bike.
Oh, okay.
I wrote down evil Winnie the Pooh spin class in my notes.
Do we know what that's for? Is that just to get the cardio in?
It was
so he can do those Tom Cruise runs?
Yes. It's a generator, I think. They're powering something with the bike.
So could you reasonably say that someone always has to be on this bike? Because you're not going to get much energy out of it. So is that where Owl and Rabbit are? Whenever there's electricity everywhere else?
They get all the shifts while Pooh and Piglet are out hunting.
While they're out murdering?
I absolutely... Of all of the things that I can dislike about this movie, there are two things that I just could not get past. A, why is he wet all of the time? I know the whole shtick with Winnie the Pooh is that he eats a lot of honey, but he's just wet all of the time.
Yes. And the Pooh is the honey is usually dripping from his nose, and it just looks like he's got a cold.
There's a part of this scene where Pooh is eating honey by the fistfuls and just like loosely shoving it into his mask. There's no hole. There's no like, the mask doesn't move. He's not anywhere close to eating. You could have just omitted the scene. You didn't need it.
You could have.
Why did you make me sit through 15 seconds?
Because you had to remember that Winnie the Pooh loves honey.
I would have given this movie all of the points if the hand had just reached under the mask to feed it to the actual actor. This is also where we get the part of the soundtrack that is used 3 separate occasions, and it's so unbelievably weird. The lyrics to it are literally that smell, something, something, something.
Something, something, yes.
Yeah. And it's repeated in every one of the action scenes.
And it's in the captions.
Yeah.
Something, 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 something.
Why?
Tight budget, man.
What?
Hey, I can give you music,
nothing else.
But for this price, I can't give you lyrics. We'll just put something in there. something. Huh.
It's a real Weird Al My Baloney situation.
This is where we find out Christopher Robin is still alive. He is hanging by his wrists from the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
He is pleading with Pooh.
Stop it. There's
That's
a
not even-
finite amount of these jokes that are still funny.
Okay, well, can I do this last one? Because this last one is the funniest line in the entire movie.
Yeah.
So Christopher Robin is pleading for his life from Winnie the Pooh. And his Hail Mary, his last ditch effort, is to scream out in anguish and agony, "I love you, Pooh!" Oh, man. God. I will give him like a 8 out of 10 for delivery on that line.
Yeah.
I don't know how many takes it took, but boy, did they get it right. And I guess that's the last Pooh joke I'll make.
It's not going to be your last Pooh joke.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
There's almost an hour left of this movie. What follows this particular moment is so out of place because it's one of those
Jarring.
like warbly flashbacks of Christopher Robin being like a happy, weird little kid. They don't show.
We'll grow old together, forever.
Mm-hmm. I promise. And like, there's a moment where Pooh has some self-reflection. It's like, huh, maybe I do love this kid. And then, nope.
In the mirror.
He abandoned us. Yeah.
He looks at himself in the mirror, and that's when it cuts to the flashback. And this scene reminded me of, have you ever seen Gladiator?
No.
Okay. Well, for those that have, there's a scene where he is having a dream because his wife and son were murdered, and he was taken into slavery.
Mm-hmm.
And then became gladiator and rose above and yada, yada, yada. Anyways, while he's a slave, he has a dream that he is reunited with his wife and kids. And it's a very popular scene of him walking through reeds or wheat. Maybe it's wheat. And he's just like brushing his hand along it as he's walking past. That is what this was. The difference was that it was earned in Gladiator. This was not earned at any point, and it did nothing for the movie because, like you said, it's as soon as he snaps out of it and he is looking at himself in the mirror and just, wait a minute, he abandoned us. And then immediately goes to get a ponytail from a victim, I'm assuming, and flogs Christopher. This scene was very reminiscent of Passion of the Christ.
Yeah.
And it's just over and over again. And he has these deep gashes in his back from being flogged so much.
With a very thick ponytail that did not have, I don't think that that's how that works. Also,
No.
I thought at first, because I didn't realize that Eeyore's tail was, I guess, nailed to the like headstone.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was supposed to be like Eeyore's tail that he was whipping him with.
That would have made sense, yeah.
Which would have been immensely messed up. And then I thought maybe it was like Mary's hair. Maybe they just like scalped her for the poetic justice.
But no, she had short hair.
Yeah. So it's just.
So this is just a random ponytail.
I was trying to find all of the ways that this made any sense. I got nothing.
Yeah. After he snaps out of it, he goes into like Limp Bizkit mode. Just starts breaking stuff. Just throwing everything off tables and just goes bananas. And yeah, and then he pours what looks like gasoline into a pot of intestines on the ground, flips a handle, and then Chris is showered with blood for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, hey, we got this stuff laying around. How can we use it? Let's find a way. And they did use it, and it made absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
There was no allusion to it being Mary's intestines and blood. There is a heavily decayed body next to him that he sees and like cries out. I guess we don't know how long he's kept Winnie and Piglet have kept him alive and a prisoner.
I think that was Mary, the one that's like picked at. Because I think, like I said, whenever they do the other animation thing, I think they cooked and ate her. And so I
On
think
the
what's
hook or
left
on the
over
wall?
is what's
Against the wall.
the one that he's like crying out for. I think the
Mm.
other one is the redhead.
Oh, okay.
And I think she's the one whose intestines are in the bucket.
Okay, it's not.
That's some mental gymnastics. I have no confidence in those answers, but that's what I think is happening.
It is not laid out for us. So we have to connect the lines, the dots where we can.
Yeah.
And then after this, Winnie goes on a nice little stroll with his corpse friend. And then that's when he finds out that people are in the
Airbnb murdered, yeah.
Well, that's when he notices that there's some ladies at the house. And then for whatever reason, he just drops the corpse and then goes after it.
He drops what corpse?
He's walking through the woods with one of those bodies. I don't know which one it is. I don't know if it's Mary. I don't know if it's the other one, Lindsay Lohan, but
Tina.
One of them, Tina. But he is walking with one of them and then drops it and then says, "Oh, hey, new blood."
There is a scene with Lara, who is the Instagram girly, in the jacuzzi, and she has taken her phone back out of the not really lockdown. She's taking all of these pictures, and then she goes to look through them. And I was trying to figure out, because it's been used as a trope in a good amount of things, when like the character goes to look back through the pictures they've just taken and they see, surprise, there's somebody in the background. I feel like it was maybe like a Scary Movie thing. I don't know
like
that for a
Scary
fact.
Movie or Scary Movie?
Like Scary Movie, the franchise. I'm pretty sure it was in that somewhere where they took a bunch of pictures on a digital camera, and when they go back to look through them, there's something off. But anyway, so she looks through her pictures. She's like, these ain't gonna cut it. She keeps scrolling, and she's like, oh my God, what is that? And then zooms in on Pooh in the background. She gets out of the jacuzzi.
Someone should clean that up.
She gets out of the
Should brought some
jacuzzi.
doggy bags.
God damn it. She gets out of the jacuzzi, and she is yelling at this man bear pig that's in the background of her photo.
That is no longer in her view.
That is no longer in her view, and says, "Are you stalking Maria? Why did they invite her on this trip? She just found out that one of her friends has a stalker, and your first thought is, she's inside. If you wanna go get her instead."
No, this is definitely the place where she is.
Yeah.
That person that you are looking for, she is here.
What is wrong with this lady?
I mean, I don't think the brain cells are all there.
Fair.
If I'm being honest.
She doesn't find anyone. She does not meet with either of our man bear pig people. So she's just like, screw it.
I ain't gonna ruin my night.
Gets back in the jacuzzi. Yeah. Gets back in the jacuzzi. Is hanging out for a couple of seconds, and then, surprise, these 6.5 foot tall linebackers with beer guts somehow sneak up silently behind her and chloroform her.
You want to know?
How do you get chloroform in the 100 Acre Woods? Who is providing this for them?
Who's providing any of this?
I can
where
understand
do they get
some
their
of it.
supplies?
I can
Where are they
understand some
getting
of
the
it.
gasoline for the wood chipper? Where are they getting replacement light bulbs? Light bulbs don't last
several
forever.
Bicycles.
You know how many bikes it would take to run a wood chipper? You'd have to have a team of them.
Have you seen how much Pooh runs in this movie?
But do you want your fun fact for this episode?
I would love one. What do you got?
Chloroform, when inhaled, will cause you to become unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't last. You have to continuously breathe it in to remain unconscious. So as soon as you take off the rag whatever is soaked in chloroform, that person will regain consciousness.
Interesting.
And that is something that happens in every movie. It's just like that they got knocked on the head and they came to right in time. If you get knocked in the head and you are out for more than a couple seconds, there is brain damage that has occurred, and you will likely not have a great life afterwards. You're definitely not going to go right back to where you were.
Not
You're
only
just
that,
out for 5 minutes. There's going to be consequences to that.
yeah. Chloroform is also not immediate. I think there's like a 5-minute window after you smell it where it will actually knock you out.
Yes.
So like you can't just put it over someone's face and like, no, lights out.
So you're just chilling there.
Yeah. So you have to hold it over their face for 5 minutes before they are actually unconscious, and then you have to keep it there for as long as you intend to keep them unconscious.
Yeah.
The films have lied.
And so they take Laura, and she comes to. She has been hogtied by, I'm assuming, Piglet, which hilarious. And then he starts to slowly lumber over with the chain around his neck, sledgehammer dragging on the ground, just clop, 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 clop. Comes up to her, just puts his foot on her back, and then headlights turn on. And at first, I was like, where did Winnie and Piglet get a BMW that is functioning and has a turbo in it? That's strange. Are they gearheads? What's going on here? Later, find out that it is, one more time, what's her name? It's the last time she comes up. Lindsay Lohan.
Tina.
It is Tina's BMW that they have taken. And Piglet stands on her back, keeps her in place, and Winnie slowly pulls up and drives over her head. Her eye pops out, and then they're gone.
I had so many questions about this scene.
Yeah.
Why is there a dramatic slow motion thing of Piglet dragging the sledgehammer along the gravel when he does not use that sledgehammer on the girl who is hogtied?
It's to do the old switcheroo, the bait and switch.
Why does Piglet put his foot on her back? She's hogtied. She ain't going anywhere.
She's not. That is correct.
How did Pooh learn how to drive?
That's a great question.
Who taught him? When you see what happens to Lara, why do you see it as if she's getting crushed by the outside tire? Because there's no tire tracks on the rest of her body.
I don't know, man. Continuity is not the milieu of these types of movies.
I think that was all of the questions that I had. It's very silly.
Did you see an eyeball pop out?
Yeah.
Did you see a head get crushed?
The CGI was a little rough.
It was. But you got your gore, and that's all they were going for. But right before it happens, she's screaming. The people in the house, Maria and Glasses Girl, say that was no, it's Zoe and Alice
are on the dock. Yeah,
and they're like, oh, "Did you hear that? That sounded like
Tina."
No, this isn't Tina. This is Laura. They're like, "That was Laura's scream." Could you pinpoint? Could you recognize your friend's screams? Your friend's blood-curdling screams? Is that something you hear a lot? Your friend's screams?
I thought they said that they heard maybe it was Tina.
No, one of them says that was Laura's scream.
Oh. I mean, I don't think so, but I've also never been in that position. So maybe if the thing were to happen, I would know.
And then in the house, Maria and Glasses Girl are like, "You heard that? I've got a gun." And Maria's got a gun in the UK, and it's a revolver. So what are the gun regulations for the UK? I know they're very strict. I don't think a non-police officer could get a gun in the UK. Am I wrong in that?
Not a clue.
Especially like a revolver? Like there are probably some carve outs for like hunting rifles, but as far as having a revolver, I don't think that that's something that's going to be easy to come by for just Joe, Schmo, Mary, no matter what your circumstances are, what you've had to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's a, have you been stalked? Yes. Okay. Here's your revolver.
Before we find out that she has a gun, because this is after they like all four of them are meeting and they're like, "Oh my God, Laura's dead." Um, like before they have that conversation, they all meet at the bottom of the house, and there is in blood written on all of the windows the words "Get out." In the same vein of who taught Pooh how to drive a car, who taught them how to write.
It's very legibly too.
It's
Very nice
it's
penmanship.
legible, yeah.
Yeah.
One of them, one of I think it's Alice maybe, presses her face up against the glass that has blood letters written on it. And then she leans back and she goes, "It's written on the outside. Why did you put your face on that glass before you decided that it was on the other side of it? What did
Uh,
you think was going to happen? Were you hoping to get like a battle scar? Like, what's
Maybe
just
bloodborne
silliness?
pathogens don't exist in this universe.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Even in the case that I'm not getting some horrifying infection from it, I don't think I'm putting my face straight into my best friend's blood.
And it's only at this point does someone say, call the police. And everyone's like, oh, yeah, that's a great idea. And then the minute the police are mentioned, then it's glass breaks and wait, Laura was out by the pool. Do you think she closed the door? Laura did not close the door. She did not. And so our lesbian lovers go together to check the door, which in fact was still open.
Yeah.
But we get a nice scene with this indoor pool that this cabin also has.
Mm-hmm.
This cabin has everything. It has like 5 bedrooms, a huge living room. It's got a jacuzzi, a pool, lots of land to do stuff on.
100
Who
acres, to be
owns
exact.
this house? Who is it? Is it the Robin family? Does Christopher Robin's family
Oh,
own this
maybe.
house? Are they secretly behind this? Is this in the sequel?
Who's to say?
Dang it.
Watch it and find out, or let me spoil things for you. You only get those two options.
Nah, don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. So Winnie's walking around the front, the downstairs. Maria and Glasses Girl have their trusty revolver and do absolutely nothing with it. Alice and Zoe are in the pool at this point, and Piglet pops up out of nowhere, sledges one of them in the head. The other one, for some reason, gets in the pool. And she's like, come get me, come get me, come get me, leave her alone, come get me. So Piglet, ever the opportunist, sees that this one is unconscious for enough time.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got time to kill, you know.
Sure.
Slowly gets into the pool, and Michael Myers his way to the girl who is backing up to the other end of the pool.
Mm-hmm.
This whole time, the slowest scene of this entire movie. Good God, was it slow? He's just taking one step, next step, next step. Every now and then, he just swings his sledge at nothing, just through the water. He's nowhere near this girl. She's at the other end of the pool by this point, and just swings and swings and swings until he gets to her at the other end. She doesn't get out of the pool. She doesn't make any attempt to escape, and then sledge to the head. This one kills her. I don't know why it didn't kill the other one, but it kills her one blow. And then we don't find out what happens with the other one. But Maria and Glasses come up and find the dead one, and oh my god!
Before Piglet gets out of the water, he also continues to beat Alice, I think, with the
Oh,
sledgehammer,
that's right.
which is
Yeah,
not accomplishing anything. She's already dead. She's drowned, if nothing else.
she is very dead.
And also, you hit her while she's floating in water. You're at best making her bob a little. You're not you're not damaging this woman. You're just out here swinging at nothing.
Hmm. Yeah, he drags the other one out into the woods. She comes to on a slab. Winnie, I put erotically eats honey. This is the
Why do they
part
keep doing that?
where he is scooping it up out of this honey pot and then just like slathering it on his mouth hole repeatedly, many
It's
times,
such a long scene.
like 6 or 7 times. It's dripping from his nose. It looks like he's just got the nastiest sinus infection. And it just keeps going and going and going.
Mm-hmm.
Girl comes to on this slab, and Winnie does one of the all-time horror tropes, no matter what the budget or quality level
Mm-hmm.
is it's the thing where they're doing something and you think they're distracted, and so now's your time, and then they immediately snap right to you and make direct eye contact.
That was
And
a
it is,
full-on, like, groundhog, the surprised gopher. What is it? The OG YouTube video?
yeah, that's exactly what it was. Yeah, it looked exactly like that, and it looked so ridiculous and not menacing at all, just silly, just utter silliness.
Also, coincidentally, the second time that
Something, something,
smell,
something.
yeah, comes
Yeah.
into play.
Winnie, not wanting to lose his catch, walks over to Slab Girl and repeatedly slaps her in the face 7, 8 times. And every time it lands, it's the hardest thud you've ever heard.
He slap punches her.
Over and over again,
Mm-hmm.
directly to the face. She becomes unconscious again. Second time in a span of 10 minutes that this woman has been unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
100% life-altering brain damage. But we're not going to talk about that. We're going to suspend that part of reality. The next scene, the girls come upon her. She magically comes to. Not a single mark, bruise, anything on her face. She's like,
She got slap-chopped.
They killed Zoe or Alice, whichever one I'm not. And they take her, and then they find their way into the murder garage, which is where they find Chris. The other two, like, we have to go, we have to go, we have to go. No. Maria, ever the protagonist, says, we have to help him. We have to get him out of here too. No, we have to go, we have to go. This whole time that they're having this argument, they could have already taken him down and run off and been gone. But she runs up to him and then, help, I need help. Help me. And they help lift him off. And then some ruckus goes on somewhere else. And he's like, you have to go. 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 So they go. They leave Chris there. Then that's when we run into Inez, which I did not get her character name in this movie. So we're going with her tooth fairy alter ego.
Charlotte, I think.
But for all intents and purposes, it's Inez.
Sure.
She is beat to hell. She has a noose around her neck, and she's holding on to 2 chains.
Yeah.
Like two actual chains, not the rapper. The rapper is not in this movie. He wouldn't be caught dead in this movie. But they're like,
This is
help me. And they literally, she drops the chains and then they just take the very loose noose off of her neck. And
they've
then
lost their
she
minds.
is saved.
Yep.
They make a break for it. They run into a reflective surface. Inez sees what her face looks like.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good. She is still alive and she still has the opportunity to continue living, but
Yeah.
her face is beat. She takes the revolver out of Maria's hand, who again has done nothing with this weapon at any point during this time where she has revealed she has had this weapon. And you think that it's going to be like one of those, I can't go on living like this, and just finishes the job that Winnie and Piglet started.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the case. What she does is she goes and tracks down Piglet. And what ensues at this point is the best way I could describe it is it's like a video game cutscene where you run into the boss. She yells out Piglet. Piglet pops up from the other side of this little campfire that they have. And then they just walk in a circle around the campfire facing each other. And she's talking smack to him and he's just like squeal grunting and they go back and forth. And she fires a shot from the revolver. So, best case scenario, they have 5 bullets left. I don't know how much you know about revolvers. They hold 6 bullets, usually. She goes to fire again. What happens?
She, first of all, before she's like out of her chains that she is holding on to, she says that Piglet smells her.
She
That's
did.
not relevant to anything. It just made me real uncomfy.
It is alluded to a couple times before this moment that Piglet has some super smell, something going on.
Still. Yeah. After she steals the gun, she is yelling to get Pooh and Piglet's attention.
With
And
everyone else still
shoots,
there.
right, and shoots the gun not towards anyone. She shoots it to get their attention. She uses the only bullet that turns out being in that gun as a road flare.
Do you remember in Tooth Fairy where the police officer's gun that ends up in the hands of our protagonist only had one bullet in it?
Mm-hmm.
I think we just watched Tooth Fairy part whatever. That was
Tooth
what?
Fairy
That was
6, Blood and
part
Honey.
5. Yeah. And so now this is part 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is just it's a reimagining of Tooth Fairy 5 with a Winnie the Pooh veneer put on it.
I wrote in my notes also because there's just so many similarities between Tooth Fairy and Blood and Honey. I don't know how much of like the production staff is the same, but I imagine there's a good bit of overlap. But I was trying to like catch up on like where I'm at in my live note taking, and I wrote, "Hey, you guys," and I don't know why. It had something to do with Inez, but I don't know what it was.
Oh, man.
So they're doing this little standoff thing. The gun jams. Piglet gets the upper hand.
Guns tend to do that when there's no bullets left in them.
Yeah. They knock Inez out. Pooh pours honey all over her head. And Piglet
Goes to town.
gets a little snack. In this time, all of the girls run, whoever is left over at this point. All but Zoe, I think. Pooh sees them and chases after them through these like wooded tunnels. And one of the girls grabs a torch that is in this wooded tunnel, which feels like a bad idea.
Yes. Yes, it does.
Just a thought. And then
Fire
as
hazard.
she pushes it out to scare off Pooh, it works. Who lit those torches? If he's acting like Frankenstein's monster, why is he afraid of fire all of a sudden? There was a campfire in the middle of the last scene, and there's torches all along this pathway.
There's an explosion later on that he...
Unfazed.
Yeah. He Tom Cruises his way through.
All of a sudden, he's spooked by fire.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lick of sense.
So it cuts back to Zoe, who is still around Piglet and whatever is left of Inez.
Mm-hmm.
She finds the sledgehammer and just bonks him on the head. Knocks out Piglet.
This is for blah. This is for blah blah. This is for blah blah blah.
Before we even get to that point, she bonks him on the head, knocks out Piglet, and is able to chain up this easily 300-pound pigman.
Yes,
with his own
that is
chains.
correct.
She weighs maybe 130. Like she's not doing this without at best a hernia.
Yes. Yes, there are going to be some physical therapy bills afterwards. Yes.
She chains him up and takes the sledgehammer to him. One hit for every person that has died. Kills Piglet.
That she cares about. There's only 3 hits. So she only cares about 3 of them.
Lara, Alice, Inez?
Maria, I think. I think the first one's for Maria. Pretty sure. Who at this point is fine. Just walking, talking.
Yeah.
Trying to get out.
So yeah. She, from what we understand, kills Piglet. Piglet squeals. Pooh is taken off of the girls that he's hunting, goes back to try to save his friend, puts a machete straight through Zoe's face.
Into a tree.
It is not done at the right angle. So it is very clearly, it is not shot from the right angle, so it is very clear that there is no contact between the target and the weapon. I really need to start adding more context because I also have, my next note says, is that an English cholo?
Okay, I can fill the gap in there for you. Okay, so Maria, glasses. Find this clearing. Find this dirt road. At the end of the dirt road, behind them, is headlights. They run up. We have to go. We have to go. We have to go. And who is it but our buddy, and I did write down his name, Logan. Our American-British redneck.
That's too many
and
things.
Also,
you don't get to be that many things.
Also, our British cholo. Also, our British native-ish guy.
Uh-huh.
He reminded me of Jonathan Joss. That kind of vibe.
Sure.
Parks and Rec guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Cockney hillbilly dude.
Yeah.
And so we have 4 saviors in the form of just rough and rowdy, just looking for a good time fellas.
Mm.
Ladies run up to him and we have to go, we have to go. And in the headlights in the distance is Winnie the Pooh. They get out. The girls get in. They're like, no, we need to go. We need to go. And he's like, what are you doing, man? You out here looking for trouble? You hurting these girls? Because we'll fix you right. We'll fix you right now. We'll do it. And they walk up on him. He's just one of them has a crowbar. That is our buddy Logan. Cholo Man has a bat. I don't remember what weapon Jonathan Joss has.
I didn't think he had them.
No, actually, he does. He has a beer bottle. And the other one has something else. Anyways, they take turns hitting him. Boom, 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 boom. 9-10 hits with all these heavy objects when he's unfazed until he gets hit with the beer bottle. That is a step too far. And so, do you remember how I told you that Slab Girl got slapped repeatedly in the face while on the slab? And then next scene later, she's perfectly fine, no damage whatsoever. Where beer bottle man here gets slapped one time, half of his face is gone. Yeah. And then he's running up to the truck and trying to escape, and then dies from his wounds, I guess, because he just like collapses to the ground.
Yeah.
Next fella, Cholo with the baseball bat, gets his hand karate chopped off. Oh, so he's down. Logan with his crowbar gets taken out. And then the last guy makes a run for it. And this is where we find out that Winnie has bee summoning powers. And he sends a swarm of bees after the man that's running away. And they take him down with little to no effort.
How does he control the bees?
That you would think that they would be mortal enemies.
Yeah, I mean,
he's taking all
eaten
their
all
honey.
of their lives' work. It's not even eating; it's just smearing it on himself.
So a little inconsistency there. Girls finally get their wits about them, start the truck up, reversing away from Winnie, who starts chasing after them, somehow ends up behind the reversing truck. They take off pulling forward because they think they've lost him, and then they're tearing down the road. What do you know? Winnie's grabbed onto the back of the bed of the truck and climbing his way up there.
There's a good bit of this scene where Winnie is on top of the truck, not holding on to anything. And they are going extremely fast if you consider the fog that is moving around them. And he's just like, I don't know how heavy you would have to be able to be stable in that particular situation. But I've been in a truck bed on a dirt road. You feel like you've gotten concussed going 10 miles an hour. You're not staying flat on the bed of that truck.
The slightest pothole, you're bouncing up and down. You're lucky to stay in the bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, Maria is courteous enough, knowing that Winnie is not secured to the roof of the vehicle that he is currently on top of, to not swerve, to avoid, I guess, every pothole in this dirt road, and to just drive as carefully as possible as someone who is going 60 miles down a dirt road can with a 300-pound man bear on top of the roof. He even gets a chance to climb over and like by the windshield and do a little peekaboo, punches the window a couple times, some Teflon windshield, and she finally gets the wherewithal to willingly hit the brakes. Pooh goes flying off the roof.
Of all of them. That is the dumbest one to be actually funny.
And so Maria knew that she was hitting the brakes, knew that a sudden stop was coming. Her head still goes flying into the steering wheel.
Mhm.
And for like the ninth person, this movie is unconscious and 1000% concussed.
Why do none of the vehicles in this movie have airbags?
That is a
Do
great
they not
question.
require them in the UK?
I don't know. We have to make some UK friends. We might be able to get some answers from Guinea-Bissau or Angola,
Yeah,
but not the UK yet.
I would be interested to learn what they have to say too. What do your road safety laws look like? How likely are you to get struck by a man bear pig?
Oh, and before you know it, as soon as Maria comes to again, Winnie's grabbing Glasses Girl
Glasses is
out of
gone.
the passenger seat, drags her to the front of the truck, still in the headlights, and then in the blink of an eye, removes her head from her body and is
Yeah.
just holding it there. And then, just for shizzles and giggles, throws her friend's head onto the windshield, at which point Maria thinks it's a good idea to just run the wipers, just play ping pong with her buddy's head, with the friend that she is so close to that she is the only one that told about this terrifying event that happened in her life. She is now playing ping pong with windshield wipers with her head, smearing blood all over the entire windshield, cannot see anything anymore.
Mhm.
Goes to start the truck, and wouldn't you know it, truck won't start. Don't you hate when
Crazy
that
how that
happens?
works.
When your friend's neck blood is all over your windshield and you just want to get out of there, you just want to get home, and your truck won't start. And then, of course, Winnie, as he does, goes to the driver's side, pulls Maria out of the car, and is about to kill her when we get a little
Chris Ex
surprise.
Machina.
Christopher Robin himself just pins Winnie to the front of this truck with
Straight
this
out of
vehicle
Signs.
that he found in the middle of the woods. It's not the Fiat that Maria arrived in with a bunch of the friends, and it's not Tina's car, so it's just an extra vehicle that was laying around.
I assumed it was his because he would have had
Wouldn't
to have found the car and also the keys.
wouldn't his be 2 hours away?
Depends on what direction they were actually walking. They may have just walked in one big old circle. They just went the wrong direction at first.
They may have. That is a good point. Anyways, so for all intents and purposes, Winnie is incapacitated.
Mhm.
You see gasoline dripping from, or petrol, as it would be called there, dripping from the tank.
How
So
many
you know what's going to
liters?
happen. You know what's going to happen. I speak in freedom units. Get that metric out of here. And so they hobble away. They get to a not safe enough distance for a car that is leaking gasoline and is already on fire, but they decide to just take a rest there.
Mhm.
At this point, Winnie has had it. He is done with all this nonsense. He musters everything he can to push these two vehicles, which apparently happen to be in neutral, off of him. He pushes the one in front of him, just a little tap, and then it starts scooting back. And then the one behind him, he doesn't even push. He just backs up against, and then it just goes rolling down the hill behind him. You know how unlucky you have to be to get pinned against a vehicle that is in neutral and has absolutely nothing behind it? Winnie is not having the best day. That's all I'm trying to say.
Sure.
And so this is where we get our Jason Bourne, Ethan Hunt moment, where these two cars just explode and Winnie's just walking away completely unfazed.
Mhm.
The thing that was just scared of fire not 20 minutes ago, he grabs Maria and is wants to kill her, obviously. And Maria and Chris have this very weird interaction. Like they have just been lovers for their entire lives.
They've trauma bonded already.
And
Everyone else they know is dead.
they have been together in each other's presence for a grand total of maybe 3 minutes.
Mhm.
And he's begging with Winnie, please don't, no, no, why are you doing this? Why won't you stop? And this is where we get the one line out of Winnie which I don't think we mentioned before, but in the animation, whenever they went feral, they took a vow of silence. They decided they were never going to speak again. Inez said before she got that they spoke in a very broken English.
Mm-hmm.
And then now we get the one line that actually comes from them. And Winnie just says, "You left," and then cuts Maria's throat and throws her to the ground. And Christopher Robin acts like he just lost the love of his life all over again.
Yeah.
His one true love is gone right in front of his eyes. And they're like real close and like about to kiss. And it's very weird. It was very unearned. It was not.
I think it could be argued that that was more so his grief for losing all of his childhood friends. This was the thing that actually just like finally was like, oh, they're not coming back.
Maybe.
Is that it
That could
was
be.
he had that little bit of hope that like maybe Pooh would like remember that they were friends. And maybe he would like remember that they were friends when he was still chained up, and then you left and then just
That is possible. I didn't think of it from that
slit
angle.
slit Maria's throat.
But then we realized that maybe Winnie's true intentions were to psychologically torture Christopher instead of physically torturing and killing him,
Uh-huh.
because he lets Christopher run off into the woods while he is busy stabbing Maria in the head roughly 30 times.
Well, after she's already bled out.
Yes, she is very dead, and that doesn't stop him.
Because why would it?
And cut to credits.
And a la Iron Man, there is a little bit at the very end of the credits that says Winnie the Pooh will be back. Boy, was he.
Huh. Neither time that I watched this film did I stick around long enough to see that.
We saw it the first time.
Oh, did we?
Mm.
Honestly, all of this was a blur. I had it in my head that we saw the boobs at the jacuzzi.
Uh-huh.
So when the jacuzzi popped up, I was like, hell yeah, here we go. But no,
You only get one set.
only one.
That's it. Do you want to hear my ranking for this movie?
Yes, I would actually.
I gave this movie 20 out of 100 acres. There is
What?
one particular thing that irks me in any movie, but it's especially prevalent in low budget horror because it's a really cheap way to um, like build tension. Do you know what a Dutch angle is?
Yes. Oh, I had that in my notes too, but I forgot to mention it.
Half of this movie is done in Dutch angles.
Uh huh.
If you're not familiar, Dutch angles are essentially where the cinematographer is trying to create tension, and they do so by making a scene that doesn't look right. And so they'll tilt the camera. You'll have a like skewed version of whatever you're supposed to be looking at, and it makes you uncomfortable. I think that they are cop out shots. They are just like you can maybe get away with like one or two and have it done well. But if half of your movie is Dutch angles, you have failed. You need a better tripod, if nothing else.
Yes. Is it possible that maybe they blew all their budget on the CGI blood and the animation,
So they just sell the tripod.
and they lost a tripod leg and had no way to replace it? Is that possible?
I I love your optimism. Yes, I will accept that.
Thor 2 is notorious for being almost entirely in Dutch angles.
Why?
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's definitely the worst Thor. So I'm not saying that's
Yeah.
why. I'm saying that doesn't help. But
It's not why.
it's not why. That is correct.
I did give it a couple more points because I do appreciate that they used actual weapons. To be fair, it might
Yes.
just be might be holding on to a bit of a grudge against Tooth Fairy and their Spirit Halloween props.
Hey, hey,
But like,
I went to Spirit Halloween today,
yeah.
and they are, one, very proud of the products that they have in store. It's reflected in their prices. And two,
Mm-hmm.
they have a plethora of believable props that you could use.
Yeah. I live across the street from the Spirit Halloween, and it was a bit of a bummer going in this year.
Yeah. Did
Everything.
we made the
Sorry.
mistake of going to one that didn't have the decorations, just had costumes.
Oh, okay.
We wanted to go to ones with the decorations that had all the stuff that popped out because uh, the kids were losing their minds. And it's like haunted house light. Like it's
Yeah,
controllable haunted house.
sure. It's still fluorescently lit. Nothing's
And
gonna pop out at you that you don't
and even
see.
there, the middle one was having difficulties with seeing some of the costumes on display. So
Do you ever see taking them to a haunted house? Do you think that'll ever be their vibe?
maybe the middle will come around. I don't think the oldest ever will.
I could see
Youngest,
that.
youngest, she can be a firecracker. So maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I think the oldest is an absolute non-starter, but I think you could convince the younger two.
Yeah, only time will tell.
Only time will tell.
But is there anything that you can take away from this movie?
Same thing that I said at the beginning. Google the place that you're staying. If there are double to triple digits worth of reports of people going missing or being found mutilated in that area, maybe don't. Maybe don't.
I would go so far as to say if the word mutilated comes up in any query about a place that you are looking to spend time at, maybe spend a little more time finding somewhere more suitable,
If you are buying a gun for protection, perhaps check how many things are in the chamber.
preferably more than one.
Ideally, yeah,
It seems to be a problem that we run into a lot.
that is true.
My takeaway from this would be never abandon your imaginary friends because one day they may come back and murder you and everyone that you hold dear.
That is true. I do. I'm not going to spoil anything from the second movie, but I need you to watch it soon.
Okay, I will.
We don't have to make it one of these episodes, but
We'll see how this one does and see
we
if
need to talk.
people would be interested in the second
Yeah,
second one.
we'll see.
All right. Well, with that, we'll see ya.
Peace out, Ghoul Scouts.